Hello everyone, give me the emu backstory. Today I'll be reading One Piece chapter 1182. So, last chapter was a very focused one on Loki versus Emu and their fight, which still hasn't concluded, but last chapter was primarily focused around that. And within that fight, we got a lot of dialogue and conversation between Loki and Emu, and we really got to find out more about Emu's philosophy and Emu's abilities, right? Dominion and all the things that encompass that, including, contracts, corruption, and the power of Omen, and all of that. Very much, adding to that devil-like nature of Emu, which Loki himself even questions. He's like, "You're calling yourself a god, but all these things you're saying, it sounds more like a contract with the devil." And Emu responds with such a hard line, probably one of the hardest lines Emu has dropped in the series thus far. He's like, "God, devil, what's the difference?" Which really highlights Emu's views on that, right? Because I guess Emu's like, yeah, God, devil, that might sound like good and evil, but what's the difference? What is the difference between them? They're just higher beings of power that are above everyone else, right? And have the capacity to control and do stuff like that. So there really isn't a difference between a god and a devil, which I also found really interesting because that's really the first time Emu has like acknowledged themselves as a devil. They've been calling themselves specifically God for a long time, and having Loki question this, and Emu's like, "You know what? Yeah, God or devil, not really a difference." So it's the first time Emu's like, "Yeah, devil is actually not a bad descriptor for me," which just really interesting, really hard line he dropped. And then what happened? What else? Joy Boy stuff. Oh my God, that was crazy, right? People had been kind of speculating before this about Joy Boy and Emu's relationship and whether or not there was something there, and there was a falling out. And I was always on the side of maybe, right? Maybe we don't really have a lot of evidence as to why they would be. Sort of, maybe they had a friendship before. I mean, they definitely knew each other, right? They fought each other by the end of everything in the Void Century, but I don't know if like they grew up with each other, they were friends, because Joy Boy was born in the Ancient Kingdom, and Emu is presumably part of, they were the king of another nation during the Void Century of the Nerona dynasty. So I wasn't sure if it's not like Emu was also born in the Void Century. I mean, that's not confirmed, but it's probably not the case. So I'm like, how would they even have met and interacted? But I always saw that as a possibility, and now lo and behold, right, last chapter kind of confirms it, right? They were both laughing, or at least kind of jovial with one another, and that just really brought Emu back, right? The memories. And it's also very interesting too, because I was thinking about it. Is there a relationship? If anyone's watching this video, clarify this. I might be missing something, but has there ever been a relationship in One Piece, or a dynamic in One Piece, that has been two like genuine friends that have turned into genuine enemies? And I mean genuine enemies, right? No misunderstanding, no I mean, yeah, there was probably misunderstandings, but like genuine friends to like a genuine betrayal to genuine like enemies. So not like an undercover thing where it was a one-sided thing. I was tricking you the whole time. I was actually evil. No, like two people actually were really good friends, and then they became like enemies or didn't like each other, right? You think of Nolan versus Kalgara, but that wasn't. They were genuine friends, and yeah, there was a misunderstanding, but by the end of it, their friendship didn't, wasn't completely severed or anything like that. Whereas in this, right, it looks like Emu and Joy Boy were friends. They had a falling out, and that was never healed. That relationship and connection was never healed. So, has there ever been a dynamic in One Piece like that? I think this is the first one, which is really interesting. Because I originally thought that Oda was going to have that dynamic with Dragon and Akainu. But obviously with the God Valley stuff and the timeline stuff, it no longer really makes sense for that dynamic to exist, which, part of me thought it was unfortunate when I kind of realized that, but I'm completely fine with the direction Oda's going. It actually makes a lot of sense. But I can still get that dynamic with Joy Boy versus Emu. So it's super cool that finally got, I guess, confirmed in a way. And yeah, so very excited for that. Emu started screaming Joy Boy with the long, mouth, the classic kind of one. I mean, classic. We've seen it before, right? Kaido has done it. I think Luffy's done it, right, with big mouth screaming. So that was very interesting. And then Loki landed a hit on Emu. Emu, got knocked into the Atom Tree itself, almost like Doflamingo style. And Loki transformed into the Nidhogg and was about to fire. Well, he did fire something at Emu, and then Emu like did a force field on it. I didn't notice that in the chapter, but Emu actually like protected himself with their ability. And they're smiling. They're like, Nidhogg, thou art have returned. So there's stuff there. Like I wonder what that means, right? Because we know the Nidhogg was presumably a devil fruit that back then it was a devil fruit user. It was like the war god. So like if that was really Emu's like pet, like how does that make sense? That's a person. Like a lot of questions. I don't know the specifics, but I'm excited to find out. And yeah, Emu's just been really. I think Oda's done a fantastic job with Emu, his character and his abilities and his presence so far, and it's just been really great. So that was last chapter. This chapter, in terms of spoilers, I don't know anything. Right? Yeah, I pretty much don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything. We went on a break. I mean, we were supposed to technically get the leaks early, but a lot of leakers, Shueisha was cracking down on them, and a lot of leakers were scared to post stuff. So it took a while, and I'm pretty sure, like, I think my friend told me new leakers started popping up and giving the leaks. So I don't know, but we got the chapter. It's cool. And there will be another break next week, which makes sense because we already got 3 chapters in a row, like Oda chapters in a row, excluding the Shonen Jump break. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know any spoilers. Yeah, literally don't know anything. What else? Predictions, right? Predictions. So I think a pretty safe prediction is that Luffy will finally like show up in this chapter. Whether or not the fight between Emu and Luffy actually begins, I don't know, right? It could be a situation where because Loki's not done fighting, right? If Loki looked like he was kind of out for the count by the end of the last chapter, then I would have said, okay, Luffy versus Emu will probably begin in this chapter, and we will see some of that. But because Loki's still pretty much fine, right? I can see the cliffhanger for this chapter being Luffy versus Emu, right? Luffy finally arriving like that because again Loki's not out for the count, so I could see a very much still focused chapter on Loki versus Emu. Just maybe we get to see Loki's hybrid form potentially. Oda's been clearly hiding that for like purposefully. I think there's a reason Oda's been hiding that, so that we might see that. And I think by the end of this chapter, right, maybe in the middle of the chapter, but to be safe I'll say the end of the chapter, Luffy finally arrives, Gear 5 and all that, and it'll be very cool. And what else? More Emu abilities. Something like that. I don't know. I think destruction to Elbaf. Right. I mean, Loki's gonna be in his dragon form. He's gonna be firing off Thorheims. Emu's gonna be countering those. Like it's gonna be crazy. Again, it kind of goes along with my thought. Like, what if the Elbaf, Atom Tree, falls in this arc? I think that'd be because I feel like we need a permanent consequence, a permanent change due to Emu's presence here, right? It can't just be like, okay, we beat the Gods Knights, now we're all good. No, Emu's here, and then it's like, okay, we survived Emu, we're chilling. It was just we thought we were safe, but then we had to deal with one more thing, and now we're good. No, it's got to be like, we thought we were safe. Oh no, we lost this shit, and then, because if Emu comes here, it's gonna be like, yeah, we had a slight, bit of, we felt scared for like a second, but then we just had to survive that for a little bit, and now we're good. So I feel like a permanent change, like the destruction of the Atom Tree, or a permanent injury on a character, a death. I don't know, maybe Jarl. Probably not. Actually, yeah, because again, Jarl, they wanted to kill Jarl. Loki ordered Dorian Brokey to kill Jarl, so I don't know, something like that. A permanent change would be pretty cool. I don't know if we'll see it this chapter, but. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, yeah, I don't think we'll focus on Robin. Actually, Robin. I was gonna say we're probably not gonna focus on other Straw Hats as much. Robin, we have not seen Robin and Saul, and they are presumably looking for Biblo, although we haven't seen them in the last few chapters, which is very interesting. I don't know if Oda's gonna continue kind of hiding them or not, but. Yeah, and also the books being gone from the Owl Library kind of also points to the fact that maybe Oda's trying to destroy, like knock down the Atom Tree, right? Because if the Atom Tree got knocked down, then the books might actually be destroyed this time, and I don't think Oda wants to do that. So Biblo kind of taking them away the books, or however he did it, if even he was the one who did it, that'd be a good way to sort of take away potentially the consequence that could arrive from that. So yes, those are my predictions. And as always, an L in a Rouge, please, Oda. Okay, let's go to the TCB scans. Let me get, I guess, a reader request. What do we have? Last chapter as a reader request. Carrot. It was Carrot. I'll guess this time. Dude, I'm blanking. Iceberg. We'll guess Iceberg. My go Iceberg. We haven't had a color spread in a while. I'd imagine maybe next chapter we'll get a color spread because we haven't had one in a while. But yeah, let's see the chapter. I have not read the title. We'll probably read the title first. Okay, One Piece chapter 1182. Let's see. Zaza, what the hell? What the fuck? What kind of a title is Zaza? Hey, yo, what? Bro. What is this kind of thing, bro? Oh my god, who's doing the Zaza? Who's on the Zaza in this chapter, bro? What? Emu? Loki? What are we doing here, bro? Oh my god, what kind of... Did not expect the One Piece chapter to be called... Am I reading this correctly? Yes, Zaza with an asterisk. I guess we'll see what translator note that is. What the hell? Okay. Oh, Fujitora. Oh, okay. Okay, Fujitora cover request. Cover request by Toshikazu. Isho savoring a carefully prepared bowl of udon made by a fox and a tanuki. So yeah, we see this fox and tanuki in the background. I think udon is Fujitora's favorite food, probably, right? We see him eating that a lot. And yeah, Fujitora, nice to see Fujitora again. Wonder how he's doing, and wonder what his place in the story is going to be, like from now on. But I don't know. Yeah, Fujitora, nice to see him again. And translate. Let me read this. Zaza is the Japanese onomatopoeia for heavy rainfall. Oh, I didn't know that. Zaza, okay, Japanese onomatopoeia for heavy rainfall. Interesting. I did not know that. Okay, I thought there was gonna be some like hidden meaning or so. I thought, is this another emu ability? Zaza. But no, it's not. Yeah, it's not. It is just heavy rainfall. Which, what does that imply? Is Nami gonna get a chance to shine in this chapter again? I don't know. Uh, Heavy rainfall. Then I guess it's gonna be raining this chapter. It's a pretty easy prediction there. Loki has his lightning and stuff. I don't know. Or maybe Nami. Maybe this is a Nami focused chapter, but bro, I thought Emu and Loki were about to start smoking pot or something, dude, with the Zaza. No, not maybe next chapter. Okay, moving on. Notes. The Oda no, I haven't read this. I had an amazing meal with Nobuyuki Sakuma. When the series ends, I'd love to get a group of guys together and go on a big food tour. Okay, so Oda over here eating some food with people. Okay. Next, okay, let's go on. First panel, here we go. Loki in his Nidhogg form. Let's see. Emu was hit by Loki's Thorheim, but, says the Shonen Jump text, right? Emu was hit technically, but there was a little force field. I missed it in my reaction. So there was a little force field that Emu kind of projected in front of them at the last second. So we got Loki right here in his dragon form and going toward Emu. Loki saying, I still feel his presence. Wheeze. So Loki still senses that Emu's there. Ragnir on top of Loki right there, a little tiny. Next panel. Loki continuing. I'm too big to keep track of him properly. Too big? Maybe go down to your hybrid form. We'll see. Maybe. See Ragnir again on top of Loki. And then Emu ... Nidhogg. More lore drops maybe. So Emu's recovering here. Continues to think thou and I would meet again in this world. Traitor? What? Okay, Emu's continuing. Dude, Emu's smiling is so uncanny, dude. I love it. I fucking love it. Interesting, though. To think thou and I would meet again in this world. Cough, huff. Traitor. As he says with a smile. Traitor. So, interesting. If we assume that the war god, right, had this devil fruit in the past, they were on the side of Emu, right? Is it like a It might be a parallel to Harold even, right? Harold was about to work with Emu and relationships were about to foster there. Or I guess Harold was working with Emu for a while, but Harold hadn't met Emu yet, right? Because he still had the the what is it, the first covenant, right? The lowest level. So he didn't know who Emu was, but there was still that relationship between them. So is this like a parallel, right? Because Harold technically also betrayed Emu, kind of. Well, he did, and so here, right? The war god, if the Nidhogg was, the war god had the Nidhogg fruit in the past, traitor, right? Very similar thing could have happened. So that's interesting. Little lore drop there. Next panel. Loki's continuing to. We got thunder, lightning in the back. Loki's flying toward Emu. Emu's saying cough, cough, cough. So Emu did get hit, right? Hit by Loki's, attack as they were reminiscing about Joy Boy and all that. Emu's flying again in the air right here. Emu continues. Snow, of course. Oh, it's snowing? Okay. Snow, of course. Lightning is born from colliding ice. Together, thine synergy is exceptional. Together, thine synergy is interesting. Wow. I think he was referring to Loki and Ragnir, right? Probably. Together, thine synergy is exceptional, because we know the war god fought alongside Ragnir in the past as well, or not? Well, it was Ratatoskr technically, and then somehow, probably through devil fruit shenanigans, it ended up inhabiting, Ragnir, the hammer. But interesting, Emu's over here noticing this sort of synergy. Yep, together thine synergy is exceptional. Next panel, Ragnir, thou art as I remember thee, waiting all this time for a new master. Okay, Emu's continuing to show this fucking uncanny ass smile. But yeah, okay, so it's more confirmation, right? That thou, yes, so they were waiting for a new master. Okay. How nostalgic. It says, bro, Ragnir must recognize Emu, dude. What, dude? Ragnir does not, dude. Bro does not look happy. We got an Oda box here. I've been kind of not looking at it now, but let's see. Ragnir the Hammer, mythical squirrel fruit model Ratatoskr. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, instead of a hammer, a squirrel eating a hammer fruit. Yeah, it made more sense if it was a hammer who ate the squirrel fruit. Mythical. Yeah, this is exactly. I'm not gonna say I predicted this, because I think a bunch of other people had this. Very. It's clearly a nod to Ratatoskr. They called him Ratatoskr. Jarl called him Ratatoskr like many chapters ago. So the devil fruit was obviously going to be called squirrel fruit, mythical type model Ratatoskr. So yeah, I guess that's confirmed. It's Ragnir the Hammer. Okay. But yeah, so Emu was there. So all that Jarl was talking about, right? That was that it was in the Void Century, or at least maybe it happened before the Void Century, but at least by the time of the Void Century, or maybe Emu's, I don't know, right? Emu might be older than the Void Century. Emu might be from the first stage. I don't know. So I don't want to say anything as if it's a fact yet, because there's a lot of things that can still be confirmed about this, but. So TLDR, Emu knows Ragnir and knows that they've been waiting for a new master for a long time. And Ragnir clearly does not like Emu, getting very angry and going at Emu. Next panel, double page spread. Oh, Ragnir instantly fires some ice. Oh, with their hands. It was like, bro just goes like this and fires a bunch of ice at Emu. Squeak, squeak. And then Loki says, okay, let's do this. As Loki fires up another Thorheim, shoots. Oh, what is this? Ragna 5 arrows. Whoa, oh, he's shooting. Oh, so Ragnir put like a little sort of cloud or air of frost and ice, and then Loki shooting through it, and his lightning is now coming off as beams as they're filtering through this kind of frost cloud, and it's called Ragna 5 arrows. And then Emu, whoa, what is Emu doing? What is this? Emu takes their halo thing, their ring in the back, lifts it up in the air, and now it's this big ring above them, and he's like, what does this say? Oh my god. Tis, or maybe the T size, Zidzi middle, Nova Eclipse. What is it? Okay, translator note. Furigana for Nova Eclipse is just Zitzi Midi An Aztec goddess. Ooh. Kanji is eclipse explosion. An Aztec goddess. Okay, so more sort of, faith and gods coming up in attack names right here. And okay, so Loki fires this, well, it didn't fire. He like summons this. It's the same one on his back. I don't see it on his back anymore. So I think he just lifted it up. It's now really big in the air and fires all the, the smiley devil faces from it, from that ring. And they begin raining down on Loki. And there's explosions everywhere and stuff. And I think it's Emu using a force field. So Loki's firing at the same time as, Emu's raining down these guys, and one of them lands on Loki's wing, and some of them are landing on the trees, probably causing more fires and all that. And Loki's hitting Emu, right? I mean, he is hitting him, but I wonder if that's another force field, right? Emu seems to be surrounded by like a bubble there. I don't know if that's just an explosion, but yeah, so they're trading blows, lots of fire going on right here. We got a close-up of Loki's face, another one of Emu, and then just, yeah, bunch of explosions and destruction. And Nami's not going to be too happy about that because, they were just starting to put out the fires, and now they're probably going to start showing up again. Really cool panel, by the way, on the left. Lots of, Oda, whenever he has explosions or, like, very, big, lots of light, he usually envelops the characters with a lot more shadow and contrast and all that, and it looks really, really cool in this panel. Moving on, right, switching perspectives. I wonder where we're going now. Oh, Nami, okay. Oh, no, it's not Nami. Why did I see Nami? It's Bonnie. I was like, because I had Nami on my mind, right? So I saw someone with long hair, so I'm like, oh, Nami. No, it's Bonnie. Bonnie saying scary as she's looking at all, the explosions happening. Bonnie, get back here, says Lilith. Bonnie says, it's not like I'm going out there to fight, not against that guy anyway. Lilith saying, damn right, it's my job to look after you now, and I won't let that happen. Still, I wonder, who is he? Right, Emu, yeah, that's interesting, because Vegapunk knew, at least, the Stella, knew who Emu, or it seemed to be implied, the Stella knew who Emu, was. Because he talks about in his speech, right? He's like, as a reason to why he's not like, outright giving his opinions on everything is because he says he knows too little about him. Now, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. I'm assuming that was referring to Emu, so sort of implying that Vegapunk kind of knew about Emu in a way. But obviously, I don't think Vegapunk knew what Emu looked like. So, in this case, it makes sense why Lilith wouldn't know. Although, is it only the Stella that knew? I'm forgetting the logistics around that. So maybe Lilith doesn't even know at all, like, about Emu's existence and stuff. But, okay, we got Lilith wondering about that. Sanji right here with them. We saw Bonnie catch him in the last chapter. Now he's on the floor, knocked out, crazy. Lilith continuing. He clearly outranks all the Knights of God here, but he's not one of the 5 elders. Yep, that's true. And then Lilith continues, I suppose it's only natural for a vast 8th century old organization to have spawned some dark shadows given its history of power struggles. And, oh, what is this? What is this? I thought this was like a flashback, but this is almost like, is this Oda just like portraying Vegapunk and Stella? Because they're the same thing, obviously, but like Vegapunk, because there's a speech bubble here that says if that's the case, and it seems like it's coming from this Vegapunk drawing that Oda drew here alongside Lilith, but I don't think it's a flashback. I think it's like almost them talking at the same time because they're the same person, and everything that Vegapunk knows, all the other satellites know as well. So that's interesting. Then Lilith continues, if that's the case, right? Is there a Ultra Shadow Lord at top? We got Bonnie right here, next panel. Wait, Sanji, your injuries are... But Sanji says, I can't back down, Bonnie-chan. We got a flashback over here to... Oh, what the hell? Oh, this is like a little flashback just like a couple minutes ago, I guess. When Sanji, after he got knocked out by the explosion, we got Killingham over here watching him. He's in his hybrid form now, right? Because he got off of his restraints, and then he got an omen from Emu. So this is right after this. We didn't get to see this. Killingham says to Sanji, hey, Sanji, I guess I don't need to deal with you after all. I gotta admit, it's crazy you're even breathing after that. So sort of mocking him, right? And as he's on the floor, still, got hit by that explosion. ... from Sanji. Next panel, Killingham says, Or no, Sanji says, "Where are you going?" says Sanji as he's still on the floor, but just smoke coming off of him. And then Killingham replies, "I'm going to see through the mission I came for. Can't you tell? My power is overflowing now." Okay, so that clearly is the Omen. So Omen is some sort of a buff in power, and I don't know if it's a permanent buff or a temporary buff, but a buff, in at some capacity. Yeah, okay. And then the first thing he says, "I'm going to see through the mission I came here for." I mean, the mission was to, subjugate the giants and get them on their side. So I wonder where he is. I'm assuming, wherever he is, Summers is as well, but where, right? We're not seeing them. So is he going to go back to the Western Village? I'm not sure. That's interesting. But Sanji says he came back down. So does Sanji know where Killingham went? I mean, I'll read the next panel, see if it elaborates. "Toodles," says Killingham as he, flies off. Sanji says, "Gah." Oh, did he kick Sanji or something? Sanji seems like he got hit by the impact as Killingham, blasted off. And switching perspectives back to the present, we got Sanji thinking, "That prick hasn't given up on kidnapping the children yet." Okay, so yeah. Okay, then I guess because I guess the overall mission is to subjugate the giants. But Shamrock specifically is let's make it a game. So that became the specific mode of how they're going to subjugate the giants, right? By using the children as bargaining chips and all that. So I guess that was what Killingham was referring to, because I guess, yeah, that's what he was doing. That's the specifics of what they were doing on Elbaf. So I guess he's going to go, where does Summers go then? Maybe he's going to do something else, because he left the Western Village, then that's where the kids were. So maybe Imu kind of told them telepathically, hey, you do this, and then Summers, you do that. Or maybe Summers is going to try to free Gunko as well. I don't know. But we didn't see him when Imu flew to shoot Gunko, the ice. So I don't know. But next panel, Sanji, says Bonnie and Lilith. Sanji saying, "We can't let everyone's efforts be in vain. Usopp and Luffy admire this country, and it's my personal duty to protect Elbaf." Huh? Says I see. I read the next line, just briefly, and then, "Huh?" says Lilith and Bonnie, and then Sanji's like, "It's the land of giant beauties." ... from Lilith and Bonnie. So yeah, because it's my personal duty to protect Elbaf. Why? Because we got giant babes over here, man. We got Gerd. Oh my God, Gerd's fingers get. Oh, what does Sanji get to think of that? That's not good. I don't know if Sanji's gonna find out about that. But as Sanji's leaving, he's skywalking out of there, and he's kind of touching his right shoulder, and it seems like that is Sanji's injured, definitely, right? He got hurt by that explosion and that recoil of the Killingham flying away. But oh yeah, he's leaving to, I guess, the Western Village, because that's where they're at. Next panel, Owl Library. Oh, we're gonna get Robin and Sol. Owl Library. It's still frozen. To think that this back door led to an underground passage. Whoa! So this is where Biblo went, maybe. So back door. Okay, let me see this panel. Okay, are we going to go to the Heaven Realm? Is there a secret underground passage to the Heaven Realm? Are we finally going to get to see the Heaven Realm? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. By the way, I've always envisioned the Heaven Realm as being within the canopy, right? Within the trees in Elbaf, right? Because I think a lot of people think of it as a sky island right above Elbaf, which it could be, but the way, I don't know, I think the way it's been portrayed and talked about in the very little times it has been, I'm pretty sure it's probably it's within the canopy. It's within the trees and the leaves, and it's hidden in there. That's what I kind of view the Heaven Realm as. But it could very well be a sky island that's just an island cloud that's right above the canopy of the Atom Tree. But yeah, so to think that this back door led to an underground passage. Next panel. This hidden room is unbelievable. Whoa. Okay. I don't think this is the Heaven Realm, but this is another part of the branch. This hidden room is unbelievable, says Sol, as he's holding Robin, and we see Biblo and all the books here. So Biblo, yeah, took them away. What is this? This is interesting. You saved the books from the fire and brought them here, says Sol. Biblo. Is Biblo just gonna start talking? I don't know. Biblo, we need answers, bro. You are old. The Giants don't even know when Biblo showed up. They just said he was here. So that's crazy. But yeah, we see all the books here, so they're safe. And this seems to just be there's like shelves in the back too. So I guess this is just like a side library through like a hidden passage and stuff. Uh, yeah. So Biblo saved the books. That's good. Robin says, "Thank you. I thought they had all been reduced to ashes." Yeah, I'm grateful too, but says Saul, I'm starting to see You're more of a mystery than I first reckoned. Biblo, Biblo, dot dot Biblo, Biblo. We need answers. Where's Chopper, bro? We need answers from Biblo. But yeah, okay. So yeah, Oda addressed this. I kind of brought this up in my predictions, but yeah, that makes sense. Next page. Near Western Village, Sea Cloud Port. So this is where I think they were originally, right? That's where the ship that Summers destroyed was at, where they were going to take the kids. We get to see the Western Village right here, the tree canopy, Rainbow Port entrance. Okay. Heave ho! What is going on here? Someone dropping a ship onto here? Oh, it's what is this? Killingham or I think it's Killingham? What the hell? Oh yeah, I guess Killingham maybe got a new ship and is now was in the air, dropped the ship right down on the island clouds. Oh, it's Summers. Oh. Whoa, and Summers has the omen around. Whoa, wait. Did Killingham have a ring around him? He did. No, but yeah, well, yes. Oh my god, I didn't even notice this. Yes, Killingham now has a ring. When he got the omen, he has a ring. It doesn't have the eyeballs, the one that Emu has, but it's still a ring nonetheless. Um, and then I mean, Killingham also had like a kind of the awakened Zoan ring, but that's different from this ring, which clearly came from Omen. I completely missed that. Also, I really like the lighting in the scene with Biblo. Just looking back at the panel, but yeah. So Summers is here, I guess. Yeah. So Summers is also helping to still kidnap the kids. He just, he was already at the Western Village, but he was trying to get the ship. Right. That's another task he had to do. So heave ho, drops the ship onto the sea clouds. Woo! And then Summers, we see again that ring around him now. Okay, hello there. Are we gonna get Sanji versus Summers now? Fine, bro. Oda hasn't been teasing it necessarily, but like, come on, all the signs are there, and we didn't get it. So I'm like, I don't know, but Killingham, clearly there's something between Killingham. Sanji's already met Killingham, and Killingham's already gonna be here to begin with, so maybe it'll just end up being the other way around: Zoro versus Summers, Sanji versus Killingham. But we'll see. Woo, we got Summers saying that. Okay, hello there, Summers here. No, wait, make that Super Summers. I found a suitable giant ship. Get the brats over here in the next 5 minutes. We know the kids are in like the little house, the houses in the village, right? That's where Chopper's like, get everyone inside. Yeah. Okay, so Summers is talking at Den and Mushi, trying to probably Killingham heard that. Western Village Tavern. Look at the forest. It's a war zone out there. Explosions in the background, right, from Emu and Loki's fight. Chopper saying, it was a clean cut, so this treatment should reattach your fingers. But it'll take a couple months to heal completely. Thank you, Chopper. I feel so useless, though. I'm supposed to be treating everyone myself. It can't be helped. Don't beat yourself up about it, says Chopper. So yeah, Chopper, okay. Yeah, it was a clean cut. Emu, clean, cut those fingers. But yeah, I mean, if the fingers were around it, yeah, Chopper was here. It's not that bad of an injury that Chopper can't fix, but it will take a couple months to heal, which there's that. So that's cool. Okay, next panel. Thank you, Dr. Chopper. You saved our mom, says oh yeah, this is the giant kids, because we see all the moms here, and Chopper, I guess, helped them as well. It's just first aid. Once we're out of this mess, I'll treat them properly, says Chopper. Oh, Gerd Tasso, says Road. Is this a dream? My top idol's fingers were severed. I humbly offer my fingers if you need a donor. I'm good, says Gerd. How cold, and yet even your spite is something I'm grateful for in these trying times. So yeah, we get Road over here. Gerd's here. Some of the kids are here. Colin, Chopper, Oimo, Stanson, Ilva, I think that's the girl's name, and Hyruden's on the floor, kind of knocked out, it seems like. Where's Zoro? Next panel. Gerd says, I have to give it to you, though, risking your life to save your brother, Bjorn. I have a newfound respect for you, Rodo. Says Rodo's like super shocked. Don't get too excited, Rodo. You're making your wounds gush blood, says Chopper. I'm high on Gerd Tasso, says Rode. And I was just starting to look up to you, says his brother Bjorn, who's watching him. Nice little scene right there. Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so next panel. Western Village, near the port. Zoro's group. Whoa. Oh, Zoro's with Goldberg? What the hell? So Zoro is, he's obviously probably also injured as well, but so he's not even at the village anymore. He left. He's on Goldberg's shoulder right now. Zoro says, "Sorry about this, Goldberg. I'd take too long without a giant's longer strides." Yeah, yeah. So Zoro just walked there. Also, you would get lost, Zoro. If Zoro just walked on his own, he would also just get lost. So not only does it being on a giant's shoulder help him, get to wherever he needs to go faster, it also will just help him to get wherever he needs to go in general. But yeah, then Goldberg says, "It's okay. I'm the only member of the new giant pirate who hasn't suffered any major wounds in this battle," says Goldberg. "Besides, this is a crisis for Elbaf. We're lucky to even have you fighting alongside us." He has a lisp, right? Is this the first time TCB? Because I know the Viz reflects that, the language for that, for the speaking pattern for Goldberg. But I don't know if the TCB has ever done that in the past, or maybe he has, and I just forgot. But okay, next panel. Don't sweat it. Our captain's motto is basically, "My friend's country is my country," says Zoro. "No wonder Hiruden pledged himself to him," says Goldberg. Then Zoro says, "But what's with those black flames? They turned into steel bullets and explosives, and those knights we beat up seem to have powered up. If we don't wrap this up soon, it's going to get real ugly." And so Zoro has the bullets that, so it's freaking, yeah, but it was bullets that shot Zoro, and he's holding them in his hand as he's kind of looking at them there. Yeah, so Zoro very much, serious mode, just like Sanji. Next panel, Western Village ports. So this is where Summers was at. "Summers, I've gone and done it now. I summoned something insane." Oh shit, I forgot about Killingham's powers. Yeah, shit, that's not good. Yeah, I summoned something insane. Killingham, don't tell me. I wonder what Killingham used to summon. Because he needs someone that was asleep. Or maybe the little nightmare fissures are still active. I don't know. The ones he had, like the little portals, because that's where the monsters were coming up from. So I'm wondering how that's working. "Killingham, don't tell me," says Summers. Killingham says, I'm afraid so. I accidentally, okay. I accidentally summoned what I'm most scared of. Whoa, as in Killingham, right? Whoa. I just got carried away. What the fuck? Did Killingham put himself to sleep? I see he has like a little snot bubble in his nose. So did he just fall asleep and is like, okay, I'm gonna summon this? Oh no, went too far. What could it be? Is it freaking, I don't know. I'm thinking, because the Celestial Dragons grew up, right, with the D. The D will get you. Is it going to be like this big, almost like Joy Boy? Or is it Nika? It could just be another Nika, but we've already seen that. But that was from the children's perspective. So maybe it's a Nika from Joy Boy. I'm not Joy Boy, Killingham's perspective. Or it could be Joy Boy himself. I don't know. But I don't think the Celestial Dragons are even taught about Joy Boy. All we know is that they're like kind of scared into, listening to they're scared into like fearing the D, right? The D will eat you and stuff like that, kind of like the boogeyman. So, but the D isn't like that. That's a letter, right? But maybe, however, Killingham manifests that in his head, right? However, he envisions the D, that could be what is being summoned. Next panel of Summers. "You stupid idiot. That thing is terrifying for all of us." Okay, that adds, right? So that means all of us, implying for all the Celestial Dragons. Is it the D, right? However the Celestial Dragons view that, or is it just something else that we didn't know that the Celestial Dragons are afraid of? Or is it just Nika? Because we also had Gunko say Nika is afraid of, I'm afraid of Nika, but we haven't heard Summers or Killingham say that specifically. And again, we already saw Nika summon, so I don't know. Summers continues, "Tell me you can control it." Killingham says, "Well, it's a dream demon, so probably." "Well, what's done is done. Just hurry. We're running out of time. And where's Gunko? I saw her on the way here. She looked dead." What? Okay, what does that mean? Did the freaking ice block explode? Or I assume it did, because I feel like Killingham would have just said she's frozen or she's in that ice block. But he says, I saw her, she looked dead. So maybe it exploded and We just see Gunko just on the floor, like unconscious or something. I doubt she's not dead. But yeah, Summers is like, what? Summers continues, well, whatever. The Great Emu's body isn't meant to be out in this world. The Great Emu's body? That's interesting. So that I mean, we've already seen Emu control Gunko, but that sort of implies that, like, if Emu ever wants to get out of the Holy Land at all, it's always going to be Gunko, right? I doubt that Emu can't possess other God's Knights, or maybe he can't, right? But, whatever's the case, it's specifically Gunko that was designated as Emu's body. So maybe it is only Gunko, but that's an interesting little detail right there. Emu's body isn't meant to be out in this. Emu's body, not... That's interesting. Or wait. Well, whatever, the Great Emu's body isn't meant... Or is he just talking about Emu, the one that we had, the Emu that is fighting Loki right now? Shit, I don't know if he's just referring, because he just responded to Killingham's claims about, Killingham's observation about Gunko. So I don't know if he's referring, the Great Emu's body, he's referring to Gunko, or he's referring to, Emu himself, who is now fighting Loki. Well, whatever, the Great Emu's body isn't meant to be out in this world. That's a fact. But now, our key combat forces and the forces that must be erased are all right here. We must not disappoint the Great One. We must live up to expectations, Killingham. Of course, says Killingham. Okay, we got a little Denden Mushi with the world government symbol on the shell. Next panel, Western Village. It's raining cats and dogs all of a sudden. Zaza, rainfall. The chapter title says, so it's raining. What's going on? The water's going to flood the inside. Don't let the injured get wet. Go capture those brats, says Killingham. So are we going to get I'm expecting a big double page spread on this freaking creature monster. What is this? Whoa, what is this? Oh, does it have to do with rain or water? What the fuck is this? Wow, we get this big water hand grabbing the children. Calling Ilva. Wow, help, there's something outside. Hold up, what the fuck is happening? So there's this big, water hand that has now grabbed all the kids. I don't know if it's all the kids, but it's grabbed some of the kids. And, we see Gur and freaking Ripley and Angie and Oimo and Stanson. They're all looking here. It's wow, calling Ilva. Wow, help, there's something outside. Next panel. For those of us born above the clouds, says Killingham, the idea of water falling from the... Whoa. Wow, that's interesting. Whoa. Okay, wait, let me read what he says, and maybe I'll talk. For those of us born above the clouds, the idea of water falling from the sky is terrifying. We always heard stories, not only about the D clan, that's what I was referring to, right? Where Rosinante, Corazon, he said the D. Not only about the D clan and Nika, again, there's that, but also the monster known as the Rain God, or the Rain God. Whoa, the Rain God. Is that the one referred to in Skypiea, right? It was the Rain God, right? It wasn't the Sea God or anything. It was the Rain God specifically. Or is that the one referred to in the mural? Shit, I might look into this after this chapter's over. I'm pretty sure we just need the final double page spread here. But also the monster known as a Rain God. The one who pelts the lower realm with water from overhead. What the hell? Okay, that's very interesting. So he acknowledges the D clan and Nika, which makes sense to why, the Celestial Dragons were, fear-mongered using that, and, they were essentially the boogeyman. So that was already explained. But this is something new, right? Those born of us above that's a really unique fear to have, which it kind of... It makes sense, right? Because they're born above the clouds. They're on the red line. They're born on the red line, the highest point on the planet, right? The highest point right in the center of the world. So it's interesting because they're closer to rain, right? I never thought about it that way. I don't think we've ever seen it rain in Marijois, but if it does, that's a little bit different than if it rains, on some of the islands below because of how high, elevation the Marijois is. So that makes the rain closer, and does it hit harder? And that makes sense from a logical, scientific perspective. It makes sense why they would maybe be, fearful of that. but to add in this rain god thing, right? So they believe that there's a god that, causes the rain. Very simple, right? But we obviously know that God's been mentioned in Skypiea, right? And I think the mural, or no, that was this, or was it the sea god? Shit, I'm gonna look again after this chapter, but that's very interesting and cool. But what is this monster gonna look like? Is it just gonna look like Chaos from Sonic Adventure? What is, I don't know, it's just a big water monster. All right, double page spread. Whoa, what is this? Hey, what the hell? It's the rain god. Why didn't I mean, okay, yeah. It's literally the rain god. Whoa, what is this? It's like this, whoa. It's like this, maybe man, woman, I don't know who it is, with this like, oh, it's like, is it like an umbrella? Like a little, oh my, let me read it first. It appears with the rhythm of the rain dance. Whoa, Zaza! That's terrifying, the onomatopoeia. Help us! The kids! Oh, we got Oda, dialogue! God of Rain. What I find most scary, this was like what was said for the kids' nightmares. Rain God Zaza. It's called Zaza. Oh my god. Dream Demon. What the? Let me finish reading this chapter. Killingham, I'm bringing them over now. Get ready, Sommers. We can set sail whenever, says, yeah, okay, whatever. Bro, I freaking wait. I don't think I read that right. I'm bringing them over. Get ready now, Sommers, says Killingham. We can set sail whenever, says Sommers. Not good. There's a lot of, they just left the village. Zoro, no. Not good. There's a commotion in the village. Should we go back, says, Goldberg? No, it'll be fine. Huh? Sanji running seeing Zoro? Hey, let's go! Hey, don't screw this up right back. Hey, I love that. I fucking love that. My wings! Let's fucking go. I fucking love that. I love that. I fucking adore that. Let's go. Oh my god, we got Zoro over here. He's running off to where, I guess where Sommers is. And Zoro sees that Sanji's also, he's going toward the village, right? And Zoro's running the other way. And Zoro sees that and he's like, hey, don't screw this up. Right back at you, trusting each other to get the job done in different locations. Eek. I love me any scene with the wings. With Zoro and Sanji, I fucking adore. That's so good. I love that. But yeah, this, oh my god, amazing double page spread at the end here. Very, yeah, big, oh my god, Oda. What is Rain God Zaza? What? I did not expect this. This chapter was very crazy and very unique too. So I think it makes sense too, because last chapter was very hard laser focused on Emu versus Loki. So I guess to trade off, Oda needs to have a chapter that is also laser focused on other things, everything besides Emu versus Loki. And wow, very dense chapter as well. And let me go back to Skypiea gods. I need to see if it was specifically the rain god. Yeah, so we got this panel right here. God of the sun, God of the rain, God of the forest, God of the earth. So it is God of the rain. And if you go to the mural One Piece. Let's see what it says. I got this. Bro, give me an actual. Okay, let me get the Viz translation up. Man succumbed to blah, 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 blah. The sea god. It was the sea god. The sea god stormed. So the sea god, but it's the rain god. And I'm pretty sure there's a difference in Japanese between the two as well. Like between the sea god and between the rain god and how it's written in Japanese in Skypiea in the flashback. But it's a rain god. And that's what we have here. Wow. That's so interesting. Wow. So we get this rain god. Looks like this, like, I don't know if it's supposed to, I think it's supposed to be a woman because I see eyelashes and typically Oda depicts women with like eyelashes. So it's probably, yeah, a woman with like this mask thing and this like sort of hat with these like pearls and like on them, like, and they're made out of water, and the way Oda also shades them is just like the nightmare creatures, kind of with this grayish like not exactly like, they're not an actual like thing that exists in this reality. It's like they're being brought to life, temporarily. But very cool. Like, it's all raining, and they have a ring on their back too, like almost like water current on their back. Oh, there's like little stuff hanging down the water thing as well. the little water ring. They have, you know, multiple arms as well. We see at least 3 here, probably 4 if we want to make it even. Yeah, there's probably 1 on the side. Oh, there's 4. Yeah, I see. Well, there's 1. There's little fingers on the tavern. Help us, the kids. Everyone's, you know, there's a bunch of, you know, everyone's flooding and stuff. Everyone's just in the water. And wow. What I find most scary, Rain God Zaza, Dream Demon. So cool. What the, great chapter. Great chapter. Wow. So I'm wondering, what is going to happen now? Are they going to actually kidnap the kids? Because we got that settled. And now it's like, oh no, we might be cooked, right? We'll see what Sanji does. Maybe Sanji's able to help assist with this, but I don't know, man. I don't freaking know. Like, yeah, I did not expect this chapter to take a turn like this, or at least the plot to take a turn like this with, you know, the Zaza stuff, but really cool and interesting. Yeah, Luffy did not show up in this chapter at all. Wow. So Oda is like extending this in ways that I didn't think he would. That's very cool, because you'd think, you know, I originally thought, you know, it was all gonna, once Imu showed up, the rest of this arc, or at least the rest of the section, is just gonna be about Imu. Imu. The God's Knights, so maybe they'll get away and do stuff in the background, but it's gonna be Imu. No. There's lots of layers to how Oda's moving the plot right here with this new stuff with Sommers and Killingham. And now Zoro and Sanji are getting involved. And wow. How is Sanji going to get rid of this? Is water. He has fire. This is a bad matchup for Sanji. Wow, okay. And this is, I mean, if you want a power scale, this is probably the most powerful, or at least the most, like, yeah, the most, like, the god with, or the dream demon with the most influence, so far that Killingham has summoned. But yeah, just great chapter, honestly. Very dense, lots of little lore drops and info, and really great. Unfortunately, there's a break next week. Did I say One Piece chapter 1182 end? I don't think I said it, but yes, it ended. Break next week, which, you know, makes sense, because we had 3 chapters in a row. You don't count the Shonen Jump break, because that was already planned. But yeah, so that's fine. We came back from a break. It's fine to get another break. Oda, get your rest, and we'll be back with this Zaza stuff. Very cool, very interesting, and there's also music as well, right? What does he say? Like the rhythm of the rain dance. So cool. Yeah, so great double page spread, great chapter, and yeah, I think that's about it, right? See ya.